Hi, I'm here today with Gaurav Agarwal from GoodData. Welcome.
Thank you.
Gaurav, you've been talking about how traditional BI tools are inadequate in today's age of big data. Can you tell us a little more about that?
Sure. I think if you look at the fundamental promise of BI, it's about giving people who have business context the power to make decisions using real-time data. And if you look at BI in the last 30 years, we failed to do that. The way BI has worked is the business user who needs to make the decision, has a business context, needs to line up in a queue to a more skilled data analyst, BI analyst, who understands data modeling, understands deep SQL, and go to him to go figure out what kind of answers should be presented to make his case. What makes it worse is that the data analyst itself is not self-sufficient. So often he'll find that he needs a piece of data that doesn't exist, and then he needs to go to IT. So the entire process of you actually getting data to make a decision can be anywhere from 2 to 4 weeks. At that point, the business executive made the decision, like 4 weeks ago. He is using the data just to justify his decision, but that's not the promise of BI. The promise of analytics in BI is really giving that user the right tools to make those decisions as they come up, self-service, and be able to publish that, and then engage the technical personas if there's something which is out of his control.
So how are companies solving that problem now?
So companies are starting to solve that problem. I think technology has definitely evolved in the last few years. I think what's starting to happen is companies are starting to understand what kind of decisions the business user needs, what kind of tools he needs, and trying to programmatize or productize a lot of those experiences for the end user. So as an example, GoodData. We are using the fact that we are a completely multi-tenant cloud, which means that we can look at how people use the product. What kind of analysis do they do? What kind of attributes do they look at? Facts do they look at? What metrics do they create? And what is the process of analysis for those users? And we are packaging that into a product which is driven by real-time insights and recommendations that is built by our data scientists in-house. So unlike other companies who are trying to solve for the decision, we're not solving for the decision. We do believe business context is very valuable for the business user. We're solving for providing the right recommendations for the analytics process for that user.
So is this what, analytics as a service?
Insights as a service, yes.
Insights as a service.
Yes.
Okay. And what's the new role of the CIO in all this? Because I think a lot of people think that the CIO is no longer the person who's driving the changes within a lot of organizations.
Yep. So there's definitely a shift that's going to take place over the next few years. It's already starting to happen. Most of the BI buying decisions are moving over to the CMO's office, primarily driven by the need for customer insights. The CIO still has a very important part to play. I think instead of being the buyer, the CIO is definitely a very heavy influencer in the decision-making process. And the CIO, in turn, gets to spend more of his time and resources on more innovative things that are core to the company. So if you think about BI is not core to the company, how to build a BI infrastructure. What is core to the company is how to sell pants or how to sell cars. That's what's core to the company, and the CIO is spending much more time trying to look at technologies and innovations in its core sector, which is great for everyone, which is great for the overall industry.
Okay. Gaurav, thanks for coming in.
My pleasure.